When I got the PCOS diagnosis, I remember leaving my doctor's office and bawling my eyes out because what the hell do you mean I have PCOS? Am I now infertile? Even though at that time I was not trying to get pregnant, but PCOS, how? Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Wogu. I'm a Nigerian YouTuber who moved from England, United Kingdom to Alberta, Canada. And if this is your first time watching any of my videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. I make videos about lifestyle, travel, freelancing, and everything in between. And if you're interested in leveling up your life in 2026, this is the channel for you. If you're new here, I made a live update video because I've not been posting consistently on WhatsApp. Now in this video, if I'm breathing in short pants or breathing in this video, if I'm breathing in short pants or breathing anyhow, the girl is 30, almost 38 weeks pregnant, basically full term now, waiting for the baby to pop out anytime. I'm actually pregnant, so yeah, bear with me. In this video, we're going to be talking about something dear to me, a topic dear to me, something that I am also dealing with, and that's PCOS, which means Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. I don't know how many women suffer from this worldwide, but this is a worldwide issue. I'm going to do my research while I'm editing the video, and I'm going to put the number here so that you know how many women are actually suffering from PCOS in the world. It is not an isolated situation. It is not something that you should be ashamed of. It is something that a whole lot of women struggle with, and I got my diagnosis of PCOS in October 2024. That was a few months after I had moved to Canada. Prior to then, I've always heard about PCOS, but I didn't really care much about it. I didn't really want to know a lot about it. I remember when I was in the UK, I was working as a sales and marketing consultant with an agency, and I had this colleague who had PCOS, and she saw that I had chin hairs, and she was insisting that I have PCOS, and I'm like, no, I do not have PCOS. She has PCOS, but she has 2 kids, but she has PCOS, and she was like, oh, chin hairs are a symptom of PCOS. And because I did not receive any diagnosis regarding PCOS, I did not agree that I have PCOS, because are you a doctor giving me that diagnosis? So I went to go and read more about the condition, and I saw that some of the things that would happen to you when you have PCOS is you probably have irregular period, you have some chin hairs or some hairs on your chest, and just a whole lot of things. And I'm like, the only thing I have here is chin hairs, and these chin hairs, I think it's hereditary from my father's side. Okay, most of my aunties from my father's side have chin hairs, so I don't think it's PCOS, because my periods were very constant. So no, I do not have PCOS, and a whole lot of the symptoms they mentioned, I did not have them. So I do not believe that somebody will just walk up to me and tell me that because I have chin hairs, I have PCOS, which is why I'm also insisting that the fact that there are a whole lot of symptoms of PCOS, if you have one, that does not mean that you have PCOS. Also, PCOS aids in weight gain. And when you gain this weight, it might be hard to lose this weight. The fact that you have gained weight that is hard to lose does not mean you have PCOS until you get that diagnosis from a doctor when they've done your ultrasound, your vaginal ultrasound, to check your uterus, and they say that you have PCOS. You get that what's it called, that diagnosis for PCOS. You don't have it, okay? The fact that everybody's talking about PCOS now, it's a common thing. Everybody's like talking about it. We're more open about PCOS. Does not mean that if you have any of the symptoms, you have PCOS. Until you get the diagnosis from the doctor, you do not have PCOS. Now, why did I even go to the hospital? How did I even know that I had PCOS? What were my symptoms? Like, how did I even know this? So usually I have very regular period, and the reason I'm sharing this video is when I was dealing with my PCOS and trying to reverse my PCOS, not like manage my PCOS, a whole lot of videos that women from all over the world made helped me in choosing what to eat, in choosing the kind of lifestyle that I was going to be living with my new condition. Women made these videos, and I decided that on my own end, I'm going to also make a video to help whoever is dealing with PCOS. You're looking for someone to hold your hands, someone to just share, someone to talk about what you're dealing with too. I decided I was going to make this video to talk about it, so you feel less alone. So yeah, how did I even know that I had PCOS? Like I said, I got my diagnosis in October 2024, and I had missed my period for 1 month. I think the period was not here in 1 month, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be pregnant, okay? Where the period at? So we attributed it to stress, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to the doctor because, like I said, even though PCOS can come with irregular periods, people who have PCOS have regular periods too. For someone like me, my periods were regular, always regular. They still are regular, except now that I'm pregnant. Anyway, I'm ready to give birth anytime soon. But my periods were always regular. So I didn't have a period in 1 month, and I'm like, what's happening? What's going on? Like, what is this about? I went to the doctor, and I know that I can be extra, not seeing your period in 1 month and running to the doctor. But then, like I said, I always have regular periods. So I wanted to know what the problem is, and I booked an appointment with my family doctor, and yeah. So I told him I had not seen my period in a month. This is unusual. My periods are always regular. What's happening? And he was like, oh, he doesn't know what the problem is, but let's book a vaginal or ultrasound. So when we booked this ultrasound, I think it was like 2 weeks ahead. Before the appointment, my period was already here. So I was like, do I want to book this appointment? Do I not want to book this appointment? I decided that, you know what do I have to lose? Let me just book the appointment and let me just go for my appointment and see. Because I didn't have to attend the appointment. I was like, oh, the period's already back. Like, so what's the point of doing this ultrasound? I'm not pregnant. Thank God. So I actually went to my appointment. I was like, you know, what's the harm in that? What can be wrong? Nothing can be wrong. Period is back. Gift is fine, okay? And then I went to the doctor. I went to the lab for my ultrasound, and they sent the results to my doctor. I had PCOS. When my doctor told me that in his office, I remember bawling my eyes out. Like, what do you mean that I have PCOS? I've heard a whole lot of people have this. I heard it causes infertility. I heard it causes irregular period. It makes someone fat. It can make you not to be ovulating. A whole lot of things. Why do I have all of these things? And I was kind of quite skinny. But then I noticed that I also added a bit of weight. I was now like weighing like 70.5 or 71.5, something like that. And I had never weighed that before. So I used to weigh 56. And I remember the last time I checked my weight in the UK before coming to Canada, I was weighing 63. But then the jump from 63 to 70 or 71.5, that was a lot. So when my doctor told me that, I was just so, a whole lot of things were going on in my mind. Like, what am I going to do? What's this? Like, and my doctor said, okay, should he get me a nutritionist? Do I want to get on birth control? No, I did not want to get on birth control because, no, I don't want to get on birth control. I planned that I didn't plan not to have children, but I plan to take my time to get settled better. I plan to take my time. I've never been of the opinion that immediately you get married, you should have a child immediately. Do you understand? I've been of the opinion to wait a little bit, like know each other and decide if children is what you want to do. Do you understand? But even if children is on the table for you guys, I think you should wait and not have children immediately. But this is just me. Everybody is different. People have different opinions. This is just my opinion. Do you understand? So my doctor asked me if he should get me a nutritionist, if he should put me on birth control, if he should put me on there's a medication. I'm not going to mention any medication here before people can start taking the medication though. Like, no. If he should put me on a particular medication that will help me regulate my period, I was like, no, I don't like medications, number one. And my period is now regular, so there's no point in that. And then also, like, medication that can help you ovulate and all of that. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to get pregnant right now, so I'm not going to take any medication. But PCOS can also make you not ovulate, so you need to know the kind of PCOS that you have. I'm not going to divulge a lot of information here. Like I said, you need to get your diagnosis. First of all, know the kind of PCOS that you have, and then start working on it and working on your lifestyle after getting that. So I refuse to go on birth control. I refuse to take the medication. I refuse to do a whole lot of things. But what we agreed was I should try to lose weight. So I had a goal. My doctor said the next time he sees me, which was in a month, I should try to lose the weight. How was I going to lose the weight when I refused the nutritionist that he gave to me? He also gave me a therapist who called me to know like how I was doing and all of that. Yeah, so I went into research mode. If you know me well, you know that I know how to research a lot. So I went into research mode to know more about PCOS. From my diagnosis, I knew the kind of PCOS that I had, whether I insulin resistant and all of that. I don't want to go deep into it. You need to get your diagnosis first. I'm not going to say a whole lot of things here so that you will know what's it called? You're not going to be taking medications that they did not send you to take and all of that. What I did first of all was get a nutritionist. I have a friend who studied who is a dietitian in Nigeria, and we paid her to come up with a meal plan for me. So she came up with a meal plan for me. I used it, but not like that, because I also did my research. I was on TikTok, like for all of the women who shared their stories on TikTok, who shared their nutrition on TikTok. So I did a lot of research. I also used AI, and we came up with a meal plan combined with what the what the dietitian that we paid, the Nigerian dietitian that we paid, came up with. So I came up with a comprehensive meal plan. I knew I had to cut a whole lot of things. I knew I had to start exercising, and I've always been exercising, but not a lot. But I knew I had to cut down a lot of things. I knew I had to start exercising, and the exercise for PCOS is not the exercise that everybody will do. You don't want to do any exercise that will increase your cortisol, okay? That will increase your cortisol. So exercises like running, all those things that will make you to start breathing. No, not for PCOS, okay? You need exercise that will that calm exercises, yoga, Pilates, walking does wonders for PCOS. Before I got pregnant, I was able to reduce my weight from that 71.5 or 70.5 to 63.5, and then I went back to 65. When I got pregnant, I started going up to the weight that I am right now. But we're going back there once I pop this baby out anyway. So yeah, food, I had to cut a whole lot of things down. The first thing that I cut out was white bread. I started eating it again now because I'm pregnant, okay? But now I'm not eating it a lot anymore. I'm not eating quinoa bread. So whole grains are good for PCOS. So whole grains like quinoa and all of that are very good for PCOS. You need fiber for someone that has PCOS. You also need protein for someone that has PCOS. You also need to increase your iron. You need to cut down a whole lot of, you need carbohydrate, but you need to cut it down. White bread, no. So white bread, which was my best food, had to go. Sugar sugar had to disappear. I had to cut down sugar. I also changed my milk. I usually use powdered milk, but I changed my milk to almond milk. So you can use almond milk if you are dealing with PCOS, or almond milk is what I can recommend for you. But like I said, talk to your doctor. The next thing I did was I also incorporated oats to my diet. Parents that had never taken oats before, it's Quaker oats. I'd never taken that, but I was able to incorporate oats into my diet because it's healthy. So in the morning, I would have my oats, I would have some blueberries, I'll sprinkle some almonds on it, and then I would have my almond milk on it. I also changed my oil. I stopped using vegetable oils. I started using olive oil or avocado oil, mostly olive oil anyway. Healthy oil, healthy living for this PCOS. It was not the funniest thing. I incorporated a lot of greens in my diet. So you see me cooking with spinach, with kale, with broccoli. Yeah. Another thing that helped me was walking, trying to do 10,000 steps, 3 to 5 times in a week. It really helped. It really helped me lose the weight, to be very honest. It really helped me lose the weight, plus the diet. Everything was working in my favor. Everything was working in my favor. I could see myself going down. My clothes were starting to fit again. I was starting to lose the weight. When I climbed the scale, the numbers are going down. So that was actually really good. Yeah, for the exercises, walking, running, no. I had a skipping rope that I used to use previously, but I had to stop that because it increases my cortisol. Another thing I had to do regarding PCOS was drinking tea, the raspberry tea. I started drinking it, I think, twice in a day or once in a day. I didn't get spearmint. Spearmint tea helps with your hair growth. So like I said, I used to have I still do have it anyway. I used to have beards. I have chin hairs as a woman and all of that. So spearmint tea kind of helps reduce that. But I didn't drink spearmint tea. I was drinking raspberry leaf tea to regulate my hormones and just help me be better. And that thing I did was also find joy in little things, because Sadness and PCOS, they don't go hand in hand, okay? Sadness and PCOS does not go hand in hand at all. You need to be happy. You need joy in your life for someone that is dealing with PCOS. So if you are dealing with PCOS, you're in a bad marriage. You're dealing with PCOS, they're beating you at home. Like, my sister, it's not going to get better. Or do you understand? So you need to be joyful. You need to have joy. So one thing I did was I made sure that I was happy constantly. So I was happy. But it's very expensive though to change your diet, change your food, change. I even started baking banana bread. If I'm baking banana bread, I usually make two, one for myself, one for my husband. And if I'm making for my husband, I put sugar, but in mine I do not put sugar. And I always use almond milk. So yeah, I really took everything seriously, all of the health things. My period, after that time I went to my doctor, my period was never late anymore. Like, it was regular, so I didn't have to take the medication that my doctor prescribed to regulate my period, because it was already regular. It was regular. Now I regulated my period with good food, good lifestyle, and every other thing, just being happy generally. Now, when it has to do with pregnancy and PCOS, anybody that tells you that you cannot get pregnant with PCOS is lying. A whole lot of women with PCOS that have gotten pregnant had multiple babies. Maraji is an example. There's this lady I follow on Twitter. I think she's like the admin of the Nigerians in Canada group and all of that. She has also spoken openly about her PCOS, and she's a mom. So I have friends that have PCOS that are moms, and I'm currently 9 months pregnant and I have PCOS. Okay, so anybody that tells you that you can never get pregnant with PCOS is lying. You can get pregnant naturally with PCOS. I did not do IVF or anything to get pregnant. The thing is, I said that the diagnosis is very important. I'm not going to come out here and mention any medication that my doctor recommended for me, because people will just go and take any medication. But then you need to know the kind of PCOS that you have. If you're not able to regulate your period with your lifestyle and and all of that and good food, your doctor might put you on a particular medication, which I will not mention. Like, my doctor recommended medications to me, so I know the medications, and I'm not going to mention them here. So nobody will go and take them. When your doctor gives you the diagnosis, he or she will tell you what to do. Do you understand? So if you cannot regulate your period with lifestyle changes, your doctor can give you a medication to regulate your period. Or if you've not gotten your period in a while, they also give medications to trigger your period. And then it depends on the kind of PCOS you have. For some people, the PCOS comes with not ovulating. So you should, as a woman, like, what I'm laughing is anybody that says as a woman, I usually like scroll away, okay? I don't want to hear as a woman ever. But if you're a woman, or if you're a human being that ovulates, you know what ovulation looks like. For me, ovulation comes with a whole lot of pain. I have ovulation pain that is kind of similar to the period pain, and it's very painful. So if you've noticed that, you know how ovulation comes, you know when you're ovulating, you know how it is, and then you notice that you're not ovulating anymore. You notice that pain is not there again. Maybe like your PCOS has collected your ovulation, so you're not having an ovulatory cycle. So if you have this, your doctor can also put you on medication to trigger your ovulation, or you can also get your ovulation back with lifestyle changes. Do you understand? So yeah, so they can either put you on medication to get your ovulation back, or lifestyle changes can give you ovulation back. So some women who have PCOS also ovulate. Like, normally they ovulate. They are not like, they don't have this anovulatory circles. Do you understand? So it's different for everybody. But if you have the anovulatory circle and you're not able to ovulate on your own, and you're planning to get pregnant, your doctor will probably put you on a medication that will trigger ovulation, and then you can get pregnant in all of that. Okay, I think I'll make a whole separate video on getting pregnant with PCOS. You have to a lot of things that I did not even know about getting pregnancy. I was given a bliss for 2 years, and the good thing is, when I was ready to get pregnant and all of that, the month that I tried to get pregnant, I got pregnant. I got pregnant immediately. Do you understand? I got pregnant immediately. Do you understand? And I have PCOS, so it's actually possible to get pregnant with PCOS. I'll talk about it, but you have to do things like you have to track your ovulation with ovulation tracking kits. With the ovulation tracking kit, you have to get the app. You have to track your ovulation. You have to do the baby dance during the ovulation and all of that. I'll make a whole video on that because I did not know all of these things. I didn't know that, oh my god, you can like track your ovulation with an app or with an ovulation testing kit. I was living in my ignorance, in my little ignorant bubble, and having the time of my life. So yeah. That's basically about that. If you have PCOS, it's not the end of the world. You're not infertile with PCOS. Do you understand? You can have a baby with PCOS. I got pregnant immediately. I tried to get pregnant and I have PCOS. You can change that lifestyle with PCOS. You can also lose the weight with PCOS. Everything is not birth control. Like most of the doctors will recommend birth control for you. But if you don't want it, don't take it. They're like, oh, you're going to go on birth control. I'm like, no. Okay, it's your body. You have the final say regarding your body. Okay, you listen to the advice that the doctor will give you and make a decision for yourself because it's your body and you know your body better than the doctors. You understand? Another thing is, take it seriously. Like once you get the diagnosis of PCOS, your life will change. You need to make these lifestyle changes. Do you understand? And it's for your own good because there's a thin line between it and getting diabetes. You get, especially if you have a sweet tooth like me. So you really need to make sure that you're just calming, that you have to calm down. Okay, make sure that you're calming down with what you're taking, what you're putting in your body. You need to be very careful regarding all of that. You need to start eating good food, fish, salmon. Okay, eat a lot of fish, my dear. Okay, change your oil. It's expensive. Let me not even lie. Olive oil is more expensive than vegetable oil. Olive oil, small bottle, $10. Vegetable oil, you see $3 and all of that. So it's not the cheapest thing. Buying healthy food, eating healthy. I'm not saying you should not indulge once in a while. Of course, indulge once in a while, but yeah, it's not the easiest. We even have like a treadmill here for me to work out, and once I have this baby, I'm going to continue my workout. I have my things for Pilates and all of that, my equipment for Pilates. I have my treadmill at home. I have my Pilates equipment here that I'm going to do my at-home workout, and not because I'm desperate to lose the baby weight or something, which I gained a lot. Let's be very honest. I gained like 15 kg. I gained like 15 kg. I'm not very desperate to lose the baby weight, but I'm desperate to get back in shape because of PCOS, because it's harder to lose weight with PCOS than for someone that does not have PCOS. Do you understand? So yeah, that's basically about that. If you have any question, because I've seen a whole lot of misconceptions online saying, oh, with PCOS you cannot have a baby, you can't conceive with PCOS, you cannot be pregnant with PCOS, you can never lose weight with PCOS, you will not, your period will be irregular. People have regular periods and have PCOS. Okay, people ovulate and have PCOS, so it's different for everybody. Don't go about the fact that you have chin hairs does not mean that you have PCOS until you get a diagnosis from a doctor, and the diagnosis will tell you the kind of PCOS that you have. So you start working towards it until you get the diagnosis from a doctor. Don't assume you have PCOS. You see, I did not assume that because I had chin hairs, I have PCOS until I got the diagnosis from a doctor. And remember, my periods were always regular until that 1 month it was not regular. And then it came back again. So imagine that I did not go to the hospital. I was just like, maybe stress or something like that. You get? So yeah, I made a promise to myself to share this video because I know that a whole lot of women are dealing with it. And one thing with Nigerian women, they don't like to share things. Culture of shame in Nigeria, we don't want to share anything. And I understand it's how we were raised, it's the culture, but a lot of women online sharing their story made me better, made me have a better lifestyle, made me lose the weight with PCOS. And I promised myself that when I'm ready to share, I will open up and talk about my PCOS, my journey with PCOS, to help other women, okay? To help other women. I know that when I make this video, people will go and maybe become my mother and be like, oh, your daughter, why did she get post that kind of thing? That's your business, and you should know by now that I don't care. Okay, I don't give an F. Okay, I don't actually care. I'm an adult. I make decisions myself, and I wanted to share my experience so that other women, especially those who are dealing with this condition, can understand that it's not the end of the world and know how to manage this condition. Do you understand? And like I said, I also got a lot of help from other women online sharing their stories. People will be going through IVF, they will not say anything, they will not share at all. Like, do you understand? They will hide it, which I mean is good to be private if you want. There are things in my life that I keep private, especially my family, but things that I know that will be beneficial to other people and all of that. I'm going to open my mouth and talk about it, and gonna eat the end of the world. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and follow me on TikTok at GiftWogu. Like, come here again next time. It could be nice to your neighbors. We'll have more videos. Okay, I just filmed 2 today. I want to edit it and kind of upload it, schedule it on YouTube so that it will go up when I have a baby, and you guys will be able to have 1 video every week at least. Okay, now that I still have a bit of strength is rolling. Okay, thank you so much guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.